Officially, good morning. Welcome to the Market Watch Group Monday Market Kickoff. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. Good morning, Kevin. And everybody else, good to see you all. It's been about, what did we say the amount of time is? We get done around 10, 7, 21 hours. 21 hours. And now we're getting ready for market posture to transition to trading posture. Now what? What are we going to do? That's the thought process. First and foremost, let me remind you what we do is for education illustrative purposes only. What we provide is not considered a recommendation to buy or sell any financial security or product. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. Let's talk about the opening futures. Worse overnight, still down overall. And again, that's part of the point. We mentioned this yesterday. We had a great posture. Big jump, 2.5 points, one of the biggest I've seen. So does that mean that we just come in Monday morning and start buying stuff? Of course not, right? That's not how it translates. It's not a crystal ball. It's an overall gauge of what are the various readings that we have chosen to focus on tell us when we give them an objective analysis. Put it together and say, how does this market look and feel? Looks better, feels better. Does that mean we're not going to have a bumpy Monday? Of course it doesn't mean that. And in fact, a pullback is fine. If the market pulls back, we have plenty of things that are either in setup mode, starting to move into setup mode. So there's no judgment when we see. But I find, and you don't have to weigh in, but I find that Monday morning influences people a bit unduly at times. They're I just postured the market, it's better. And then I come in and the futures are down. What the hell, man? So what? So what? It's all part of the ebb and flow, the natural rhythm of the market. We'll take it as it comes. So we're not going to come in and be like, oh, the futures are down. I wonder if we're wrong about, no, the futures are down. That's all that means is that the futures are down. We'll look and see what broader is around it and go from there. With economic calendar and posture, mindset for open trades. So yeah, if you have trades on, which you probably do, great. Be ready to adjust them. To make decisions as decisions need to be made. Opening range, what does it mean? We had a good list. If you missed it because you weren't there live, go look at your email or go look at the post. It's a pretty good list of on the opportunity list. It's 18 stocks across a bunch of different sectors. So anyways, let's get to it. Section of the week is 2. We finished section 1 on our first stop on the new loop. Hopefully you got that put in place and you're moving on to market posture, putting some time in there. It's obviously a very important routine. Let's get to it. Sandy, good to see you. Awesome crew today. Let's just start with posture if anyone was not there, because it was strong. You might be thinking, why is your volatility yellow? That's a mark for me to spend a little time and see if there's if I was a little slow to move, possibly if I should have. At the end, I kind of came to a conclusion that maybe not, but overall, real strong week, jumping. Yesterday, or as we scored it. Let's talk through it. Hi, Vladimir. Good to see you, my friend. Long term, we got it. We knew that one was coming. I'm gonna just walk it through in case people weren't there. Real quick recap. We knew this was coming. We talked about that. Once it popped in here, we were going to give it that. We talked about what else it's going to take for us to continue getting more points from that. Short term got a half a point. I knew at least a quarter. Ended up with a half. For what? A quarter for the break, a quarter for the higher high. Strong. Half a point there. Volume, half a point there. We actually thought, we projected that it was likely to be, especially if Friday ended up being a high volume day, which it was. So last week we had 4 above average volume days. And again, it was very interesting because this doesn't seem significant, this patch of price action right through here. Just sideways, just little candles, not much, right? When we entered this, the average volume was 109. Okay? When we exited, it was 65. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we entered here on this day, on the 30th, average volume, 109 million shares. Which was what? Which made it very difficult to score high volume days at that point, right? Like we hadn't seen one for so long because it was... And then all of a sudden we had this little window. And you're like, yeah, this window doesn't mean anything. It meant everything, as it turns out. Because that little patch of indecision, that volume dropped from 109 to 65 million. And then the next week, boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. None of those days would have been above average prior to that. All of them were significant. That's significant. Like I was fascinated when I kind of recognized how quickly, how this little just like lack of, and it was a lack of any buyers. We were looking at this market like, hey, it seems like it's hitting some resistance, and then it just sort of moved up a little bit without any volume, and then just boom. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. I thought it was pretty cool. Let's back out. We also, good morning, Bob Walker. Good to see you. We also got increased major market. We saw huge returns from technology smashing its way back up, a little bit of small caps, enough to move us back to a neutral position. Sector got another little bounce, and the VIX, and it was funny. This is where I was like, I don't know if I see anything on the VIX. And then I'm like, wait a second, I'm at a minus 0.25 and the VIX is at 17. That's I'm off. I'm wrong. There's something wrong. So that was the yellow. Now, by giving it some credit, I think I got to a place, but I still feel like I'm a little slow on the VIX. I think the VIX, had a pretty vast recovery, pretty dramatic recovery, and I think I maybe underscored it. I don't think it influenced negatively my overall trading as a result, but I think it's important to reflect and ask yourself these questions. So there it is. I ended up at a 2.5. Strong. I mean, not strong like that's a strong score. It's a 2.5. It's like, okay, it's a strong jump from 0 to 2.5. And now, from April until now, that's a 5-point move. That's very strong. Does that mean we're like out of the woods? No, we still haven't. There's plenty of things to go. The good news is we've been trading the momentum more than we've been trading the score, right? The momentum and the context more than the score. The score is just enables us to have consistency in how we score it. Questions, comments, or concerns? Let me know. And here's the bottom. Here's something else. Am I the most bullish? Is anyone more bullish? Anyone scoring even higher than a 2.5? And is anybody still negative or close? Is anyone like 0 or just barely above or still negative? So I'm curious if anyone is maybe showing some signs where they're like, I'm not sure. And again, it's not like, oh, I want to say you're wrong. You could be right, of course. We know that. So anyway, all right, good chat. Market's about to open. So we'll take a quick peek. Futures are down 1% on the S&P, half on the Dow, almost 1.5 on the Nasdaq and the Russell. Pretty good jump on the VIX. Pretty good jump on the VIX. 13%, 2 points, but still under 20. We'll go look at that chart. Gold is popping a little bit. This guy doesn't look happy, although I would expect it's because they're playing the Dutch. It's orange, so they probably lost in soccer to the Dutch. I don't know. Or maybe he's unhappy about the credit rating drop. It's one or the other. What else? My thoughts on Moody. Now we did get dropped. We did get dropped a few years back by the other. Is it S&P that dropped us? Does anyone remember? Somebody downgraded us once before. And it was the same kind of thing, like, oh, the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, AAA, like that's the gold standard of. I think it's less significant. I mean, it really amounted to nothing last time. I mean, I guess it's a little significant because certainly, I don't think the market reacted. That's my thought. I don't feel like the market reacted, but maybe. Morgan Stanley, buy any dip in U.S. stocks after Moody's cut. So they're buying the dips, I guess. I don't know. What else do we have? Yeah, I think let's go back and look. I mean, what are we thinking here? This last time we had a flag type. Why can't I get my drawing tools? Hold on. There they are. It did not last long. If this was our pattern, that is today. So Tuesday, Wednesday, by Thursday, signals were popping, right? So maybe that's what we have coming here. Maybe it's just a little bit of a pause. Yeah. Okay. Let's go look at the VIX real quick as we see the open. We're certainly in agreement with Morgan Stanley for the time being. What does that mean? We're going to buy the dip as well, right? I mean, we're increasing. Kevin's drawing lines for me. We're increasingly bullish. What would help us here? Anything in that, if we pop up and roll down, that lower high is strong. So that will confirm the flag. Very similar to this, right? Very similar to what we think was occurring in that situation there. Okay, let's go talk about maybe some. Let's just go through the watch list, actually. So we went through. Everything improved. We're a little bit better than neutral now. We're at a 2.5, slightly bullish market there as far as that goes. Yeah, I think it looks good. Let's go look at the SPY on the open. It's already kind of getting some back. What do we have to think about? I don't know. Apple had a kind of stalled out at this resistance here. That's a maybe. AbbVie moving a little bit. Amazon is on my list. So I'll flag the ones stopped out of Apple. Yeah, I could see. Amazon is on my list. What's recently happened? Higher high. Now it's pulling back. Maybe more of a pullback than a flag at this point. So now kind of thinking, does this thing kind of roll out and then turn? Yeah, there's a trade developing there for us, in my opinion. Maybe this week, maybe tomorrow, who knows? APH, a little pullback today. Maybe I add this to the list late this week. I mean, as of yesterday, it just looked overextended. But it dropped and then recovered some today. I don't know, maybe. Bank of America, maybe some additional financials get added to the list. If this starts to pull back a little bit more, I would say that becomes viable. Caterpillar. I mean, look, everything on here looks strong. The current trends are good, making new highs, pushing up higher. Now just looking to see if there's a selling cycle and how we interpret it. CLS was formally on my list. That's a nice flag pattern developing there. Even take the pull all the way back like that. I think next stop is back at the old highs, 137 or 8. Maybe you get ambitious and even go higher than that, but I think there's a nice trade setting up here on CLS. CME is one that's already on from last week from the alert. I know we had people in as early as in this range, which is what we tend to talk about. The alert came out later in the day, but still working. Glenn putting that one out for us. CMP, trying. I have Cisco on my list for maybe a flag / pennant possibility setting up coming out of earnings. I have Delta on my list in a flag pattern. So all of these are still viable setups for this week for me. The Dow is down 0.4%. Okay, EA pulled back a little bit. Yeah, okay, we'll see what happens. Of course, I don't love to see that. It's not wrong. It's just not going right yet. Let's go back. Move stop loss. It feels stop is 146-ish. What's today's low? 149. I'm back here. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it still. 145.9. Okay. 145.9. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You can see it's already kind of trying to recover a little bit. Let's just let it do its thing, and then I think you'll have the ability to move it up. For me, if it does this today and then recovers, it might be today's low that then becomes the new reference point, right? 149, we move it up to 148.50, and you're taking out a nice chunk to see if it then, I think we'll have something. That'll be a good one to talk about later tonight. If anyone wants to come, Flex, Flex is on the list. I said it's in consolidation right now, right? The sellers have the floor. The buyers have taken a break. What have the sellers done with this thing? Hardly anything. It's just waiting to see if we get another round, I think. So GE Vernova was on my list. Very much looks like it could be, again, the same kind of a thing. This one is like a cup and handle flag. The flag is the handle. And if it breaks out, this has some room to run for sure. Yeah. All a day like today does is put a little stress on a couple trades. Set up some more. Gold, you know how I feel about gold. Google still waiting. Goldman maybe pulling back for a new trade. Guess what else is on the list? Morgan Stanley, after hitting its target last week. Hilton on the list. Setting up, flag pattern. Hood on the list. Howmet, no, but it's overextended. So IBM is on. It's just kind of hanging out. So what's going to be happening? The stop is going to be getting closer, closer, closer. And this thing's either going to break out and make its next move, or it's going to stop out. It's in a profitable situation right now. So it's fine. Looks like it's trying to get to positive today even. So, yeah, no problem. That trade looks fine. ICE is one that possibly is on. IWM, MasterCard, no. Meta setting up. Oh, look at Meta. Look at Meta setting up. I always say that. I'm looking at Microsoft. Morgan Stanley. Next trade, setting up. Microsoft, setting up. No, it's not. I think I put Microsoft on because I like it and I want it to set up, but it's not. It's just sitting there. MicroStrategy is. MicroStrategy looks like it could be trying to turn around. Netflix, maybe pulling back. NVIDIA, maybe starting to set up. You've got earnings coming up soon, though, so be careful there. Palantir's on my list. Looking for the next one there. Philip Morris would have been a trade already. Signaled. PayPal setting up. It's across. Look, we've got some tech. We've got some communication services. We've got some retail. Some industrial in here even. Some financial. Strong. QQQ. Roblox. Hit its target last week. Now looking for the next trade. Reddit. Oh, Reddit. Boo. Boo. So. I'm like, I locked in a good gain on half of it. I'm going to keep the other half, I guess, and see if it can bounce. What happened to the other half? Gap down. Already recovering some. I don't stop on opens. You know why? Because things like this, where it's like, hey, it's already recovered some. I think I'm still net positive on this thing, but this Reddit's been a hell of a ride. Who's been on this ride, this little roller coaster? I don't know. I'm not really into roller coaster rides like that. Miguel's in it, clearly. He's cheering for it to recover as well. Yeah, it's been an interesting one. I'll tell you this. As far as the choppiness and the vol, I feel like we've done okay. I mean, booked a good game. At least I got half off with a target in a good place. I like what you're seeing there. Miguel said that he sees a channel starting back here, and then here, and then here. Touched it and is moving up. So yeah, is there some prospect of it getting back up into the top of the channel? I agree. I'll tell you what though, on Friday I'm like, hey, if this thing were to bounce, I'd add another trade. Now I'm like, oh shit, I hope this thing recovers. So how the story changes from day to day. Okay. It's a bit moody of a stock for sure. But yeah, had some good trades around it. Rivian, I know a few of you traded this. That should have been a good one. I think Rivian looks like it may be starting to move into a setup mode. Rocket Lab, maybe setting up. RTX is back at the old highs. SE is strong and pulling back. That's on my list. SPY has gotten back a good chunk already. So yeah, a little bit of a moody open, but not terrible. Yeah, could have been a lot worse. Okay. Yeah. TPR on my list. Tesla's I would say pulling into a setup. TSM setting up on the list. I think today looks great. Twilio. Here's the VIX. Come down quite a bit already, showing increased the strength that we're looking for from the institutions. Walmart, I don't know what to make of Walmart coming out of that earnings. I think just watch and see. Computer freezing up. Absolutely. Can I review EA? Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's not great because it's down a little bit. It's already off its lows. Our stop was down in this, at the most, 146 and change, but really 145.90 is down in, below the low. We're below support on this one. We caught this one pretty good. Let me move this to a Heiken Ashi. I would say I want to give this some room. I mean, it does have this candle here. I wouldn't put it too. Let's see, where would this low be? 149.11, 149.04. If we get a bounce today, if we end up, let's say, back above 151, maybe I would move my stop up and then just kind of take a big old chunk of risk out of the trade. But I'm okay with it. Of course, I don't love it, right? We want it to move. But it's certainly not wrong. Steven, I'm glad to hear you're safe. I hope no damage. What did you think of the posture? I think I jumped right past you. I ended up at a 2.5. Market showing all kinds of signs of life. Loving it. Questions about that, press, or anyone else? Any questions on any trades that are either alerts that are on? You can see this one continues to show some signs. GEV is on my list of things to consider. This is the kind of thing that we would be looking for. I mean, this is This is 18 minutes into the day. So this is hard because it's like if this is my flag, yeah, I can take it from here. I could even say I'm going to look at this as a broader, bigger flag. It kind of was like a double. It's hard to say. You had one here like this, but it's moving. What is this telling me? 385, 60 points there. 360 or 80 points. So that would put me at 480 or 500 for a target. 480. 480 makes sense, right? $480 target. We're at 437 now. 43 points. 43 if I could risk 15. 422. 420. Yeah, this one could be shaping up, Sandy. This one could be shaping up. This will be interesting to see. So we do have trades that are on. We do have trades that are setting up. I mean, I don't know. Things look pretty good. Look at IBM's. IBM's gone positive now, even more so. That looks good. Let's take a look around. Reddit continues trying to recover. Where are we at? 108. I'd like to see us. We started at 104. Yeah, almost half recovery already. Press asked about the Moody's downgrade. Okay, so last time it wasn't Moody's though, right? Press, I actually mentioned that, but I think it was the Standard & Poor's who downgraded them last time. I think this is because there's two, or is it? There's another one too. Fitch? No. What's the? There's 3 credit reviewers. Anyways. I'm trying to remember. I'm going to have to ask ChatGPT to provide me some context because I can't remember. But I'm asking ChatGPT. Who downgraded the United States debt prior to Moody's? And who are the primary credit raters? ChatGPT knows everything. Before Moody's, November 2023. Oh no, Press, you're right. Moody's did it in 2023. Why are they saying this is the first time? It's happened before. Standard & Poor's did it in August of 2011. From AAA to AA plus over political brinkmanship and lack of a credible plan to manage long-term debt. Which is interesting, right? Like, that was at the start of one of the most amazing bull markets ever. Fitch ratings was August. Fitch was August 2023. Debt ceiling standoffs, concerns about governance and rising fiscal deficits. Moody's. They did not downgrade the rating in November of 2023. So it is their first time. They changed the outlook from stable to negative. So this is the first time it's slipped. But Standard & Poor's did it in 2011. Fitch did it in 2023. Moody's made a comment in 2023, but this is the first time. And they are the big three. Okay, so I think I had a pretty good handle on what it was, but that's the gist. What's the overall? Not too concerning. Again, in 2011, Standard & Poor's did it. Everything was fine. So now I'm not too worried about that. We'll see if the market agrees. We'll go take one last peek. Yeah, I mean, look at that. We're fine. Trading plans, section 2. What should you be doing? You should be defining the market posture routine. You should be defining each of these components of it as what do you do, how do you do it, what does it tell you, and then you talk a little bit about what does your market posture score do for you. How do you then determine your trading posture day to day? What are the implications that you're trying to have in an ongoing? We don't want to, from day to day, be like, well, now should I do this or this? And now we want to have like a broader, the posture kind of gives us this. The types of trades that make sense, how long they're likely to last, how we're going to adjust, the strategies and systems we're trading, the tactics we're going to implement when we're moving in and out of trades. A little bit more bullishness, and I'll start to sell less at my take profit level and be like, hey, if I'm gonna get to my primary target more frequently, then I want to have more of a trade on when I get there. Let's see what Firefly says as this meeting is about to end. Action items. Keep monitoring CME. Yeah, okay, that's that's true. APH, I mean, we added more than just APH. That's a little bit oversimplified, Fireflies, to be fair. Consider adding financials to the trading lists. Yes, plenty of them, including Morgan Stanley, which is on the list. Delta. Yeah, I don't know, Firefly. You did a little poorly on your summary. Do better next time, please. There was way more than that discussed. It was not a great summary. Questions, anyone? Are we feeling good? We're feeling like, market was a little shaky to begin with, but overall I think things look fine. Things are fine. Looking for some bullishness. Looking to trade. All right. It's good to see everybody. What's next? I will see you this evening. 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain is my time, 5 p.m. California, Pacific time. We have Q&A. So let's talk about the trades we have on. The trades we have setting up. Maybe run a search or two. Good to see you. Have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Wednesday, of course. Have a great rest of your day. As always, happy trading.